Aloha and welcome to Lucy's Paradise podcast. Today I have a longtime friend of mine, Commissioner Gordon. What's up?
Greetings. What's happening?
Just hanging out. My friend and I did a run this morning, so I'm just like I told you earlier, having the
Yeah.
best day.
Yeah.
Need to do that more often.
There's two types of people in my life. One half are like, that sounds like the best way to start your day, and the other half are like, why would you do this to yourself? And I'm like, it's a daily driver. It's fantastic,
Your
honestly.
nightlife party friends are like, why would you go running this early in the morning? I like it. I like it. I like to get it puts me in a good mood. I definitely need the gym. So I'm glad we did that
Yeah.
today. I got
No,
some stuff done
100%.
too that was stressing me out. So now that it's done,
Ah,
a lot, yeah, I could just focus on the rest of my day. So this is like the fun part of my day. So
excellent.
I'm
Glad to be part of
excited.
it.
So I want to start off by kind of letting everybody know a little bit of how we know each other, like how we've met each other, because we've been friends now for a long time. I mean, I remember you coming to one of my birthday parties, and I sent you the picture the other day of
Yeah.
us in
Greasers.
costume as greasers at my birthday party out like in Los Angeles. And so to be able
Yeah,
to make friends with you in the Bay Area and then LA, and then we still stay in touch. Yeah, t-
totally.
tell us from your perspective.
No, what a beautiful thing. I mean, that's like, and again, it feels like this weird time warp because I look back on that. We probably met in like 2014.
Mm,
Um,
I think so.
you also, I believe, came with me to get a decently large scale tattoo, or at least to have like a shot of whiskey before I went to that tattoo in the sunset a long time ago. But again,
I think so. Yeah.
that's probably like 2015. So we're coming up on like a
Dang.
decade this. My
Yeah.
goodness.
That's awesome,
But
though.
yeah.
That's cool.
The wild way that you meet people in the Bay Area too. It's like it fills my heart with joy that we stay in touch because it's like
Yeah.
such a funny experience to even talk about. And I feel like I've now regressed back into my psychotic 25-year-old self working the way that I do at the moment. I'm like, oh, I can still do that, but I feel
Yeah.
horrible, but I can still do that.
Right.
Um,
Right. And we're referring to working in nightlife type stuff, which I also did
yeah,
in my mid 20s in San Francisco. And I remember just
right.
being like, we would stay up for like days, and it's just not the same when you get older. So anyone that's above
No.
30, it gets worse because you can't bounce back as quick.
Well, it's funny because I feel like at 36, I feel younger than I felt at like 29. Like at
Mm.
29, I was like, ah, my life is ending. I'm about to be 30. Everything is over. I'm not, I don't own a house. I'm not married. Whatever. And then I got to like
Oh,
32 and I was like, oh, wait, no, we're good. Like everything's fine. Um, but that being said,
depends
yeah,
what your
reinvent.
goal is in life, though, too. Because some people,
Eh,
that's to them, that's not a life they want.
no, totally. I mean, that's actually, I mean, that's a funny conversation with a lot of people in my life lately. There's a big red line crossed between the people I know who are like, they've been married for 6 years, they're considering
Mm.
children, they own a house, they work at Google, the Bay Area love song in that sense. Um,
Yeah.
and then the other half of people who are like,
Single forever,
we're fig
bachelors, bachelor
we're
life.
figure we're figuring it out,
We're figuring it out.
whatever.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think the what I feel like the generation trends are like, because there's, and I'm really gonna say something controversial, but I think feminism really fucking ruined, like radical feminism is ruining,
ooh,
like women just want to be so independent that like they want to do everything by themselves, and that's great. But I think it's also changing kind of how guys are adapting because yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of my guy friends, they do want to have like wife and kids, and like they just can't find that shit, dude. Like good girls are not on board, some of them.
well,
So
yeah, I totally agree with you. I think radical feminism in the general sense is kind of how I was raised. I was definitely raised in a family of mostly female, strong female types.
mm,
Um, that having been said, and again, maybe more controversial, uh, radical feminism, the way that I grew up, was definitely more like the equality of the sexes. Like we should all be able to, meet in the middle and be equal, which I don't think current feminism is that at all. I think a lot of that comes down to, I don't know. It's strange times we live in, right? Like, I think the political
It's
climate
interesting.
plus, yeah, it's really bizarre, and I feel like
Yeah, it's interesting.
the people I know who would qualify themselves as feminists these days are a lot more radicalized in the sense of like it's a fight. You know what I mean? Where I think the you do not need to be female to be a feminist in the traditional sense,
Right.
to want just like equality for everybody. I
Right.
think that we've veered pretty far from that, and it kind of sucks. And I think a lot of dudes in my life are like, I don't think that kind of love exists anymore. I don't think that, people are built that way these days to have that traditional white picket fence life that, you were kind of brought up on. But maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. There's a lot about it. Which is also very confusing. I think also working in the way that I've been working lately, people are like, "You're not gay," and I was like, "No," and they're like, "But we thought you might be," and I'm like, "Okay, why?" And that becomes the funniest conversation because they're like, "Oh, because you're like well spoken and like friendly and like you dress nice and like," and I'm like, "These are all pros. These are all good things."
Right. Right.
But like it doesn't, I mean, whatever. Thank you for all the compliments, but it doesn't mean that my sexual preference has anything to do with any of that.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like they're trying to figure you out, and then and it's so funny how like gay men actually kind of have that reputation of being very well kept and stuff like that, that like if you are that as a straight man, you're like, are you gay? But you're like, no man, I
Yeah,
just like to take
no,
care of myself.
this
Like,
happens a
oh,
lot,
what the
and it's
crazy idea, I shower, like, oh my god,
right. I brush my teeth. It's like it's the funniest thing. And this conversation always, I get this very skeptical look of like, and it's usually only straight dudes who are like completely insecure, who are just like, "I'm so sorry. I just figured that you were at least bisexual." And I'm like, "And why might that be?" And the the conversation
they wish you
immediately,
are, they want you to be, they're like,
perhaps,
he
and
cute, he needs to
right,
be
right.
serving me more than
Fuck.
drinks. No, no, no.
Ay, ay, ay.
Well, how
Nah,
was it? Because
sorry.
so basically you brought that up because you were able to be over there during the Folsom Street Fair. And for people that
Indeed.
don't know, in San Francisco, which is the gay capital of America, the Folsom Street Fair is all the leather daddies having a blast. It's kind of like Pride, but like I don't know. I don't really know honestly the concept. I like walked by it one time and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And my friend
Yeah.
explained it to me, and I was like, "Okay, that makes more sense." So there's an event going on. I was like, "Why are there all these guys in like leather outfits?" I was so confused. And I'm from Hawaii. We don't have stuff like that. I was my first Pride was in San Francisco. So shout out to
Yeah.
San Francisco Pride because it's like the best Pride ever. I'm glad I had the experience, and I understand why my mom feared for my life because I was definitely
Oh,
trying to get
yeah.
eaten alive by all the lesbians out there, and I was scared. But I was
That's
sheltered
funny.
probably, but it was funny. But yes, I learned the
I mean,
outfits, the whips, and things I discovered, and it's an
yeah, I mean,
interesting fair. How was your experience?
it was good. Honestly, I moved to San Francisco full time in 2011, and I stayed there until 2020, I suppose. So
Oh,
like
okay.
I lived in the Haight and
Wow.
then I lived in Soma for most of that time, which is kind of like when we met, I was just trekking the city. I think I moved to a different neighborhood every year for a while, just so I could like see the whole city. Um, but again, that was
It's
also
so
when
fun to be an SF. I mean, it's cool.
it's wonderful. It's really amazing. That having been said, back in the day, my rent was like $600,
Right.
whereas now, getting a crappy studio apartment is like 2 grand, which is not fun. You really don't get bang for your buck these days. That
Mhm.
having been said, the way that I got into this gig was total happenstance. This wonderful girl named Jules was like, we would like to hire you full time. Here's a test. Let's see if you can hack it with bizarre hours, and you're going to be working Folsom Street Fair. And not knowing that I had lived in San Francisco before, she was like, just so we're
Mm,
clear, a lot of naked dudes probably having sex on the dance floor. Like
mm-hmm.
that's that kind of party, which I don't
Yeah.
think exists too far out of San Francisco. Like, to open like a large nightclub on like
Right.
Third next to the freeway off ramp and be able to do that is bizarre. But Folsom's actually kind of a
Yeah.
special thing. I think honestly, it encapsulates a lot of the old school San Francisco kind of heavy metal end of the stick of things, and it's
Yeah.
completely respectful, like in the way that that scene kind of works, which is not my scene at all. Like that's it is very far outside of my wheelhouse. I'm proud, I guess, at this point to be quite vanilla compared to the things that go on at Folsom Street Fair,
That
because you're
is
just like,
funny. I love that term.
yeah, but it is kind of a blood sport because like it's a lot of people openly doing drugs, having lots of sex. And I think I was telling my roommate like how to describe this, because I came home from work at one point and he was like, "Wow, you really did that. Like that's crazy." And I was like, "It's not so crazy. Like I don't think so. I think this is just a lot of the Bay Area letting loose in a relatively controlled, healthy way." But that
Yeah.
having been said, the things you see in Folsom Street Fair are things that the deep end of the internet would be like, ew, like whoa. And so so a lot of it was that, and I think a lot of the work that I just did was really fun. I think I may have upset some beautiful female bartenders that were working with me, because they were all dressed to the nines in like leather gear and spikes and stuff, and
Oh.
we're hoping for lots of tips. And my sweaty self in just like a plain black tee and Levi's was getting all of the attention from all of
Mm.
these dudes who, they're checking their pants at the coat check for the club. Like they're literally coming in clothed, and then, so it was a lot of fun. And I don't think, again, maybe I'm desensitized. Maybe I've lived here for like a decade and it just doesn't bother me. But
I think to
I,
some level, to some degree, because I think like me going to SF now versus when I first went, I mean,
yeah,
it's less of a shock factor, right? Because I've been.
yeah,
So it's
very
like
much.
I know what to expect. If I brought somebody that never went before, I would kind of preface it a little bit to
Right.
them, like, if you're not involved, just look away. If
Right.
and because eye contact is also can be good or bad depending on the situation.
Right.
And
Depending on who you're looking at. Yeah.
people, there's just so many. I think just the vast majority of people, San Francisco is a very densely populated city,
Yeah.
and so you have everybody that's in the LGBTQIA community going to one event. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, and that's kind of the point. Some people are celebrating, some people are trying to find the love
It's
of their
true.
lives, some people are trying to find their third or fourth wife or whatever the situation is, because rent
Whatever it
rent
might
ain't
be.
cheap out here. So honestly, the people
Yeah.
that have like multiple girlfriends and boyfriends, they kind of have the cheat code right there, because I mean, I don't want the drama, but in terms of being able to
Right.
afford rent, they're onto something.
So the XY factor becomes, how much drama are you willing to put up with if you need four roommates to cover your house? I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
me
It's
per me
interesting.
personally, I like a little bit more solitude than that, I think.
Yeah, I think you
Um,
and me are also like I'm very non-chaotic. I don't know if I can only speak for myself, but I'm
mhm.
very non-chaotic, but also you and me are more open-minded, I think, just in general. So like
Yeah,
I think
I would
even if
argue.
you and me like traveled somewhere new, we would be
Hmm.
open-minded to just take in whatever the environment
Oh yeah.
gives. But
Well, and I
San
think,
Francisco is really neat. It's a really cool city.
it's amazing. And I think also you touched on something very important with that, right? Because it's somewhere that you need to leave consistently to come home to. Um, and what I mean by that, right, is like I would have no problem if you called me tomorrow and we're like, let's just go to Thailand for a month and just go do that. A lot of people are not like that. And I think in that
Mm,
same sense, in the traveler sense of the thing, it is a city of satellites, if that makes sense.
mm,
It's a great place to leave and come back to rest for a bit, and then go back out again.
No, that is, yeah, it's a good home base, or a good, what's the, I don't know the other word that I'm thinking, but I get what you're saying. It's a good pit
Yeah,
stop. It's also a good pit stop.
yeah.
I loved living in the Bay Area, and I think the things I loved about it most, and I'm not big on weather changes that are different from
Hmm.
tropical. So for me to even
Oh,
live in the Bay Area was such an experience for me, but I'm very blessed I was able to. I lived in the Bay for about
yeah.
6.5 years,
What
and
neighborhood?
I lived in Novato and Petaluma mostly.
Oh, cool.
So
I love
mostly Marin.
Petaluma. I love Petaluma.
Love it. I
It's
loved performing music out there and the
oh
music
my God,
scene, and
the Mystic and the Phoenix and the
I just fell. I love that. I mean, I could just hop in a car and go to Tahoe 3 hours away. Like that
I
was
know
freaking cool, man. Like that was
Tahoe's a whole
cool.
Tahoe's a whole thing,
We gotta
right? I
go.
mean,
That's something I'd
I
be down to
I
do.
would love to. I would love
Even if it's
to.
a weekend and we
Um,
just live off sandwiches and just snowboard, I'm
Dude,
down.
I'm so
So
down.
down.
I'm so down. And this, it's so
Yeah.
funny. This time of year, like right when summer ends, all I want to do is go snowboard, and my brain is just like snow. That
Yeah.
having been said, I lived in Truckee from 2020 to 2023, and
Ah.
we had Snowmageddon, which was like we're getting 90 feet of snow every 3 days. Like I
Oh,
have
I
to
remember
like
that. I remember
it.
that. I almost
It
went out there, but it was like bad.
it was real bad.
Yeah.
I had to like put on a full Patagonia dry suit and ski to Safeway because the roads are closed. Safeway might not have food because all the
Wow.
train tunnels are shut. Like it was
Yeah.
it was gnarly. So
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
I'd love to go for a weekend. I don't think
We
longer
have
than
to.
that. Yeah, I would love that. Oh my God.
We got
I'm gonna book
we
some
got
tickets. I'm gonna
we got
figure that
some
out right now.
plans, dude, because
We got a
are you still
lot.
down, for Coachella? Because I'm so down. But I
I'm
heard they're sold
absolutely
out,
well, I used to work for Golden
you know,
Voice. I can do that.
sold out. I always do this
Um,
when places are sold out, because I feel like
right.
you're never fucking sold out, bro. Jump the fence. You know what I mean? Like, let's
Well,
go.
I
Not
mean,
really, but there's a way.
again, just
Where there's a will, there's a way.
there's always a way. I've never, and this is also a big part of the like being in the San Francisco club and festival scene. I've worked that since I was 19. There's no way I could not find at least one contact in my phone right now that wouldn't be like, yeah, dude, hop in. Like, it'll be fine.
Am I the one that messed up by actually buying a ticket? Did I mess
Well,
up?
no, I mean, that's a solid move.
I just wanted to guarantee it, man. I wanted to see JB. I want to see JB, you know? And
The
I just got to. So I was like, you
I
know what?
know.
I've never gone. I want to do it. I'm going to make
You
it
know,
happen.
as a musician, I need to eat my words really quick. You sent me that new album that he did. It's incredible. It's very good.
Oh, you liked it.
Um, I did very much. But again, I think traditionally I veered away. Like I have a jazz quartet degree and in like composition, mostly in guitar. And for a long time, I was just a hater. And for no reason. Like I literally was like, I cannot stand the Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande group of things. And
Mm.
now,
Well, I
perhaps,
mean, I understand it a little bit, because I think that when you have, and what I would consider them, they become mainstream artists, right? Because they get
hmm?
their names become bigger than when they were right before they were discovered.
Yes,
And I can understand that, and especially when you are, or people are like anti the system. We love independent stuff. I love independent artists. That's
yes,
kind of
very
why
much.
I love Russ so much, because
Oh yeah, huh?
he did so much of his stuff independent before he even got super big. And
Yeah.
so I
Well,
think
and
there's
also
just like, oh, go
I
ahead.
mean, he's awesome. Like he
So
actively,
great.
and it's
So
also
good.
I think that person might have been kind of a gateway drug here in that sense because in my upbringing and in the punk DIY kind of sense of the thing, I think the hype of most of the people I just mentioned were the reason that I was like openly just a hater for a minute. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't get it. I don't like it. It's soft. It's horrible. It's mainstream. It feels like I'm stuck in Vegas and I can't get out.
Yeah, yeah. And I get that with the feel of the mainstream artist, but
Yeah,
behind
but
it
they're
all
good.
too, I think one good example, and specifically with Ariana Grande, this she was on this one show with like Jimmy
Hmm.
Fallon, some Jimmy Fallon episode, and she has
Hmm.
to and the challenge was she has to sing something and do it in like a certain style. The way she did that on that episode, like you cannot deny her musical talents.
Oh,
Like not
no.
even just her voice, just the ability to be able to like she understands the genres of music so well
Yeah.
that like it was so freaking flawless. And they're just great in their
She's,
own way too, you know.
I was going to say, they're actually, and again, I need to eat my words here because they're actually incredible. And I didn't
Yeah.
want to like it. And then I don't know if I'm getting soft as I get older or something like this, but like all of the people I just mentioned, I'm like, whoa, they have chops. They're actually quite good, like incredibly good, which makes sense, right? Because these are like the top performing musicians that we have on the planet right now. Um, Ariana Grande is amazing. Um, the new Bieber album, also amazing. Um, and I don't know, honestly, it might be because I grew up more in the like hyphy rave scene here when I was
Hmm.
young, but like
DJ AM and all them. Like who was a big
AM,
yeah, who else was
um,
a big DJ back then?
oh man, I was actually just talking about this.
Because I went to a bunch. I went to one where there was some kid from like Europe that was like 16 and they had to like
Porter
get
Robinson,
him probably was. And then
I think so.
Tiesto, I saw Tiesto live there. I mean,
Yeah.
some of those are mainstream too, but there's a
Well, I
lot of
mean,
really, really good DJs.
we had some incredible people who were just Ohm Records in downtown San Francisco was booking basically these homeless people, right? Like they were a bunch of DJs who were like living in a warehouse somewhere, and it became Cascade, it became Porter
Yeah.
Robinson, it became Benny Benassi, it became
Love Benny. Such a nice
yeah,
guy.
Wolfgang Gardner, Paul Oakenfold, like that group of people.
Mhm.
Um, which now actually is, maybe this is a perfect segue into the DJ thing.
Yeah, perfect segue.
I was dying laughing over the weekend that this kid who's DJing and he DJs as Abel, and in fact, I got you a souvenir from the trip. This is the
Oh,
gayest thing I've
sick.
ever seen.
I love that though. I love gay
Behold,
shit.
there's people in dog masks for those of you who cannot see.
I
The
love it.
company is called Fabulous Me from Texas.
Nice.
They're
I
awesome.
love it.
Um, this kid was like, "Oh, you DJ?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been known to." And he's probably 24. And I was like, "Okay."
Mhm.
Um, I believe he played like "Love Is Gonna Save Us" by Benny Benassi, which is from 2008, and was like, "I found this thing. It's amazing." And I was like, "I've heard it. Like, I'm old. I get it. I get it
Yeah,
now."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Like this wasn't his best work, but it was a banger.
it was a complete banger. And if you ever lived
Yeah,
through like Love Fest or like Love Evolution, like
yeah,
those are the people who were playing those street parties. But
yeah,
I was like, I haven't heard this in 10 years. And he
yeah.
was like, look at this magical thing I found that no one has heard. And I'm like,
It's not magical, bro. You're
oh,
just 10 years. Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
sweet, beautiful angel. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I
That's how
love
I
that
felt
that's come.
playing. That's how I felt playing DJ AM and like heavy grinder, like older stuff.
Yeah.
Just a couple weekends ago. That's how I felt. Everyone was like, "What is this?" And I'm
Right.
like, "Dude,
What
this
is
is
this
like 15
magical?
years old, bro. Like, you
What is
guys
this
have no
magical
idea."
thing?
But
Yeah.
then there's one that's like, "The bass is my boyfriend," and the girls were like, "Yeah," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"I was bopping this 10 years ago, but okay.
dude.
I mean, I'll bring
I,
it back. Let's do it. You know, trends repeat
right.
themselves."
Well, I was gonna say no. It's an amazing thing that you can play these things live and no one knows what you're doing. Like that's so
Yeah.
funny. I was just like, I wish I still had like my iPod from 2008. It
Oh
probably
my
has.
god.
It probably is full of
I
trance
have a shit ton of
bangers.
Simple Plan on that bitch. I know that for sure.
Oh, Sugar Cult. I mean,
bunch of shit.
oh man.
Yeah, my plan was to go to the We Were Young festival, but I ended up
Oh, that
getting
would have been fun.
asked. Yeah, but I ended up getting asked to be the event coordinator for Eden, which is the biggest lesbian party here in
Oh, cool.
Honolulu by Eden Entertainment, and it's gonna be at Sky Waikiki. And they asked me to be a part of it, and I could not say no to that opportunity. I was like, I
You
have
have
to
to
say
do
yeah,
that.
have to say yes to this, dude. It's one of the biggest lesbian and queer parties on the island,
That sounds like the
and
hottest thing I've ever heard of. That sounds amazing.
I couldn't say no, bro. And so I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, I gotta push back Vegas. I gotta push everything back. But I'm excited for that opportunity, and I'm super stoked to be a part of it.
Well, so can I ask, because this again fills my heart with joy that you have tracked onto this whole scene of things. Um, what do you think as far as like what's your goal with this? Like, are you just enjoying playing, or like do you want to actually make this into something, I suppose, bigger, or like every DJ that I know has a different mindset as
Yeah,
far as what
yeah.
they want to do.
Well, I absolutely enjoy the music. I like the idea of, playing a couple times a year. I love the idea of I'm more of a person. I like to throw parties. I've always been a party thrower, as you know.
Indeed.
Um, everyone I know in my
I've been
life
to a couple.
has been to some sort of party that I've thrown. And I've actually thrown like one of the biggest parties here on island. That was, I mean, this was before Snapchat and before cell phones. And if we did have
Yeah.
that back then, that shit absolutely would have been like the Project
Oh,
X of fucking parties. But
game over.
game over. People still talk about it sometimes on Facebook to me, like even now. And I'm like, dude, that was so fucking long ago. But
Hmm.
what's cool is I'm glad I could have had an impact. So one time I threw a going away party before I left island, and it was
Hmm.
$1 to get in, and it was free alcohol, which is like totally illegal, but I did it. And I had DJs. Um, One of my friends, Jesse, ended up DJing, and he's actually related to Bruno Mars. But
Oh.
I DJ'd. That was one night I DJ'd, but it was so long ago. I took all of people's CDs from their cars. I might have told you this story.
I
And
don't
everyone
think
was like,
so.
"This is my jam," and I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, because it's your fucking CD from your
Right.
car. Like, of
Because I
course it's your
jacked it
jam."
out of your
I
Jetta.
jacked everyone's fucking
Yeah.
CDs, bro. I'm smart. But I was playing the bangers because I was playing everyone's music. I was playing your shit that you liked. It's like me stealing all your iPods and playing that
Oh
shit,
my God.
So it was a fun time. We had live, and then we had live music and then it went until the sun came up, and everybody
Yeah.
was there at some point in the night. Everybody was there. It was
That's the
fun. It
way.
was fun. And so my ultimate goal is to come up with maybe running my own events, but I want to do more like underground events.
Cool.
I don't want to do the traditional stuff. I want to do different. I just want to make it different. And so that's kind of my goal.
Totally.
I do love DJing, and I would love to do it occasionally here and there, but
Hmm.
right now in my life I don't think committing to something like that that's not like as structured and not as regular. I
Yeah.
don't think I would commit to that. Like unless someone offers me tomorrow a residency somewhere that's going to pay my bills every
Right.
month.
Right.
I'm not just going to not have a regular job. And I think,
Yeah.
and respect to the musicians that do that. I mean, I'm not talking bad about the people that all they do is that, but I don't want to be in the struggle doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just me. I think it sucks the fun out of the creativity a little bit.
100%.
So now I'm in a position in my life where I can do music as a hobby and I don't have to stress about the money. I can
Yeah.
go and show up to an open deck if I want to. And like, I'm not
Yeah.
pressed if I'm not getting paid. Like, who cares?
No,
You know what I mean?
100%.
Because
And I
I'm
think,
just trying to show the music. So
well, and again, I think it's a war of attrition in a certain way, right?
my
Because
bigger goal is that every 20-year-old knows who the F DJ AM is. That's my bigger goal. Because there are some DJs that I bring up and they're like, huh? And I'm like, bro, stop right now. Google search. Don't talk to me unless you listen to it. It's
right.
just, and I
You
get it.
must
I
be
mean,
at least
we're
this
just
tall
older.
to ride the ride. Yeah, no, but I mean,
And
but
I
it's
can't,
so
I shouldn't
funny.
be like that. It shouldn't be like that. But sometimes
Right.
I'm like, what?
you kind of
must
have
know.
right. This is knowledge.
You gotta
This
know
is
the
the reason we do this.
legends.
Right.
You
Each
gotta
one
know the
teach one, man.
legends.
You have to be able to do that. And I think actually you're spot on. I personally, having DJed for many years now, um, I traditionally, and you know me well enough at this point, like I will have a very aggressive job and then be able to be like, whatever money that you were going to give me to play, just put it back, give it to the bartenders, give it to the people running the show so that we can actually elevate the show,
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to do that. And it also takes
Yeah.
the pressure off of what I feel like is kind of killing the DJ scene at the moment, which
Mm.
a lot of people build playlists. They come in and tape down the crossfader, and then they're basically just dancing to a playlist, and they just crossfade. And it's that if it's that stressful, right? If you are counting on this in that sense, you're going to suck all of the art out of it. You're going to suck
Yeah.
all of the creativity and all of it. And I personally, I'm very much with you, where I would like to be able to be like, no, I have my own income. This is for me. Like I like to be
Yeah.
able to go do that. And that's
Yeah.
honestly how you get booked as a headliner, because people are
Yeah.
like, oh, they're blown away by the fact that you are not this crazy scallywag creature that is like, no, I'm counting on
Scallywag.
this. Yeah, just and that's very much the Northern California, Tahoe to Grass Valley scene. Um, you know, a lot of people, again, maybe controversial, but probably not. Um, they bank on, that $200 rider and a bag of questionable drugs to get them through to the next gig type thing. And on my end of the stick, that's very much not where I come from DJing. I like to have my own gear. I like to be able to be creative in the sense of not counting on that for my livelihood on purpose. Um, because it really makes it hard to, drift into outer space while you're mixing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, I mean, the goal really is every single song is playing at the same time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you have, and that's how your whole playlist at some point needs to be, man. You can't,
Hmm.
that's the fun of it. The fun of it is
Yeah.
like they didn't even know that song was coming up next, even though they
Right.
were like, wait a second. I love that
Right.
feeling. I love when I'm like, wait, I hear, no, I'm tripping, and then they like bring it in and they bring the other song out, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I knew
That's the
it.
one.
That
And
you
that's,
gotta do it. You gotta do that. You
well,
can't just
no,
play.
you can't just have 15 songs that you've planned out for the hour and a half that you're just crossfading between. That doesn't make any sense. But I also, maybe in a funnier way, I like not knowing also
My
which song
dog's
is
trying to
about to.
freak out.
What's up, dude? Um, hi.
Can you hear him?
Um, yeah,
Little rat. Nobu. Shh.
Nobu. I want sushi. Every time you say Nobu, I want sushi. Um,
That place is horrible for sushi.
that is
Ugh.
true.
That
That place is kind of horrible in general.
it's so
Like,
horrible. I
kind
went
of like
there.
they.
The worst experience of my life. Never again. I was like,
I
you know how
have
many
a.
times we could have gone to the Taco Bell drive-through with how
Right.
much I just paid? Like, what the F? Never again, bro.
I just wanted a Baja Blast, man. That's all I wanted. Um, no, my last Nobu experience was actually so funny. Um, I have a dear friend in LA who uh, he became part of the Mortal Kombat movies, and so was kind of like this rising star moment for this man. And so he was, as a thing, he was like, "Come to Nobu, bring yourself and our other friend." When I was working as a photographer down there, and we're dirt bags at this point. We are not fancy people coming into this bar.
Mm-hmm.
However, the people in the bar, you know,
Dirtbags.
yeah, my friend Lewis was like, everything's on me tonight. It's the release party for this movie. Eat, drink, be merry, whatever. My friend and I, standing on that balcony in Nobu, we're being approached by every Ukrainian Instagram model that's like, oh, what is it you do? And I'm like, drug dealer. Go away. Like I was just literally like,
I'm a trafficker. Don't make
right.
me snatch you up. No, I was kidding.
Have you seen Cocaine Bear? I am the bear. And they're like, what? And I'm like, be gone. Like I just really was hoping for a chill evening. Whatever. But
Oh,
I do
your
want
life is so
sushi,
hard.
for sure.
I pity you.
It's been good. I've had a great life so far. Can't wait to see what's next.
That's good.
Which, by the way, so again, would love to have you for the event coming up. I think we're doing the thing. I think early November instead of late October because Halloween seems to have scrambled the plans.
Mm.
As one does, this is. I think in the Bay Area, this is when all of the event season ramps up like
Yeah.
800%.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to be hustling, but I think honestly, the thing in San Diego is going to be so much fun. This will be so cool because my friend Chris basically he was like, I want to resurrect like the free parties that they used to have
Nice.
in like Balboa Park type area.
Yeah.
So it'll be outdoor, a lot of vendors booked. And again, my life is so hard. I have some really amazing friends who were just like, yeah,
Your
dude,
life's so
just
hard.
yeah. Oh, it's so difficult. Some very, very good DJ friends were like, just drop location, man. We got you. We'll be there. And I'm like, cool. So we have 4 or 5 big heavy hitters that will be really fun to play with. I can't wait for you to meet them, honestly, because they're just gonna be like, okay, Gordon, you can leave. We're gonna just take Lucy and we'll just, but
yeah,
I think this will be really fun.
my cousin, he had a 30th birthday when I
a
was in the
decent
Bay
amount of money to
Area.
be made.
No, go
I'm
ahead. Sorry.
You broke up. What?
No, I think we're like offset. So,
can you hear me?
Did you lose me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Lucy. 1 2 1 2.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh, you're back. Hi.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry,
I just don't know if you can hear
up.
me. Oh, you didn't. Oh, it's all right. I'll cut it all out. Don't worry. I could totally hear you though. But
okay.
No, I was just saying that my cousin had a 30th birthday party, and then his girlfriend was like pissed that she never met me. She was like, "What the heck?" And he was like, "Sorry, we're cousins, but we don't hang out that much." And it was so funny. And I was like, I love how she's so pissed that she. And then like, now we're family, She's like, "Just my family now," like. And I'm like, yeah, bro, we family now.
How dare you?
Like, yeah, like so she's so stoked. They're coming back to Hawaii in like November, December, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna bring your mom to Key Club. Let's go. So it's gonna be fun.
Go.
It's gonna be fun.
Fun. Excellent.
More family.
Excellent.
More family.
Yeah, this year kind of just blipped by. It's an interesting one. I would love to close it on a really good note. I think we're gonna figure it out, but. Man, it's been crazy.
Well,
crazy in all levels.
Well, not to. I mean, I don't want to make this whole episode about men's mental health or anything like that. And I'm glad it's majority DJ stuff, so I can make a fun thumbnail that's like DJ whatever. But
totally,
I just wanted, because last month or this past month or whichever month it was, I thought it was September, and somebody told me it was October, and I was like, I thought September was. Like suicide prevention and men's mental health, but whatever. I mean, all these months have different meanings. But I kind of wanted to just ask you, how, like, your perspective on men's mental health and how that's gone for you. I mean, I can't really speak to it because I'm not a man, so I can't speak to it, but a friend and I were on a podcast and we discussed, and I asked him, I said, do you think there's a lot of pressure with the male roles, right? And does that affect his mental health? And he kind of went off on that. So I'm just kind of asking you the same thing, what you think.
Sure. I mean, for me personally, and again, Nobo, being from the Bay Area and having been raised traditional feminist type roles, lot of strong women in my life, tons of them, which I'm grateful for in like a big way. I think a lot of dudes feel really alone at the moment.
Mm,
And I think that gap is widening, I would argue.
mm.
Um, me personally,
I
uh,
see. I see.
I feel relatively unaffected because at this point, I've seen a lot of life. I've traveled a lot. I have I've had a life that has been kind of a free-willing force of nature type existence for a decent amount of time. And for me, I know that tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I will have at least a fresh perspective on whatever's coming. You know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
nice. But I don't think without a ton of travel and a ton of creativity and being able to make music and art and express
Mm,
myself, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
right.
Um,
Right. So it
which
kind of
which I
saves you
think
in a way to have that
very
creative
much,
outlets.
yeah, you have to, I think.
Yeah.
And that's also alienating in a way because I don't think a lot of dudes have the capacity or even, the software installed to like know how to do that.
I love you said
Um,
software installed. That's funny as fuck.
yeah, it's just kind of, I think for a lot of dudes, it's like file not found, like that kind of thing. And that can be
Mm.
really horrible for one's psyche, for one's mental health.
I think too,
Um,
like, there's that masculine, no emotion type, not really
yeah,
expectation, but it is kind of like that traditional expectation, and over
yeah,
time now with movies and like, I mean, I actually, when you talked about Barbie and Ken, that's kind of a funny example because when you
right.
when you watch that movie, you know,
That movie is
Ken,
dark.
yeah, it's darker than you expect. I really did. I kind of sometimes I just wanted to watch a Barbie and Ken movie, man. Like I wanted to watch a cute little
Right.
movie. They're in love,
I
whatever.
know. That
Maybe
was
that was me
not
hoping it was a little more Hallmark and a
that
Hallmark Christmas movie type deal, and I was excited for that. And then it's totally like these themes, and I'm like, damn, man, I was
oh
not
God.
expecting all that, but
But
it is what
also,
it
okay.
is.
Well, you've spent a decent amount of time in LA. I love that Ken discovers Studio City and like a Burning Man coat and like he becomes this
Yeah,
macho golfer douchebag human and uh, like I wasn't this felt like I wanted to watch like The Little Mermaid, but I didn't expect to do it on like mushrooms. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
watched the thing and was like, "Oh no." Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think I think I've buckled in for a ride that I was not expecting. And then by the end of the
yeah.
thing, like it ends on a sad note.
It's
Like
like,
I was like,
don't
"Oh
stop trying to
no."
brainwash me, bro. Like, oh god.
Ah.
Like, am I supposed to leave here
But
being
like
like,
Ken,
women need to take over the world? Like, oh my god. I honestly just wanted to watch
oh man.
Barbie, Ken, fall in love. I don't know I don't even know what I expected, but I was like, dude, Ryan Gosling, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. He's the hottest
Yeah,
guy
Margot
ever.
Robbie. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Perfect.
who is what's her name? Oh my God. Is it Kristen Wiig that's like the crazy Barbie? That's like had her hair burned
I
and is
don't
like
I
bendy.
don't no, it's not Kristen Wiig. It's a different lady.
Oh my God. It's a different
Yeah,
SNL
yeah.
character. But
Yeah.
she like that girl with like the
She's
crazy
funny.
hair.
She was the perfect character for
Mhm.
that.
Right. Oh,
Perfect character for that.
your feet are unarched? Oh no. And she's like bent into a pretzel. I was like, what the fuck? Um,
Just so you guys know, growing up, I was Ken. I played with the Ken Barbie all the time. I had so many Barbie girlfriends. I had the nice convertible. I had the big mansion. If I if that was not an indicator, I was probably gay. I don't know what was, but I was always like, I want. Well, the cool thing about my Ken Barbie is the hair changed color if you put it in cold water. So I was like, I just
oh,
loved it. It was so fun. I just wanted to be Ken. So I was Ken.
for sure. As a cis het white male, I was perplexed. I think. I think my grandparents again of World War II era, they were like, "What's the male equivalent of this?" And so they bought like GI Joe, like Snake
Mm.
Eyes, or in
I
like that
also
kind
I
of
also
thing.
had a GI Joe as a kid, and I loved
They
that
were
toy
rad.
too.
Those were rad. But I was still a bit perplexed. because again, two little sisters. You know what was really fucked actually? This is even worse. Is my grandmother decided that my little sisters needed like American Girl dolls, which are like
Oh, yeah.
Annabelle status, creepy.
Those are creepy, man.
They're
I'm not
brutally
into dolls, man.
no,
Even the
they're brute.
Labubus,
What? What's up with the boo-boos? Like, what's the point? I don't get it.
there's no
I don't
point.
know.
It is people are falling into marketing schemes. The
Right.
Labubu doesn't do anything but give you what, a false sense of happiness because you got to dress a little doll. Are you adults with freaking dolls hanging like
Hanging
keychains? Like,
off.
am I
Yeah.
in the Twilight Zone?
What is happening? And also, they're
People are
creepy as
obsessed
fuck.
and they're paying hundreds of dollars for these things. And I'm like, dude,
They're
buy some XRP stock. Like,
right.
buy some
Buy
Ethereum.
Yeah.
Jeez. Like, I'm not, that's
Good
not
Lord.
stock advice. I'm just
Invest in your
saying, like,
future and not
at
these
least that's a
creepy.
better. Yeah, and then that thing is gonna get dusted and old. And you know what I read? I read that Goodwill. Sorry, I hate Labubu tangent, and I'm not really a
Don't
hater
hold
of
back.
things, but I just don't understand because I don't have the obsession. But I do obsess over other things, so I get it in some way. But apparently Goodwill, they're getting rid of them. People are getting rid of them, and they're
Oh
throwing them
wow.
away. And like Goodwill is like just has a bunch of them because it like the trend's already getting people are already getting over the trend.
Well, so like, is
So
this like
it's
the?
basically a get rich quick scheme that works because y'all fell into it, and now
Yeah,
this billionaire, millionaire, whatever he is, and that's it.
that's very upsetting. That's the whole story. The story arc of Labubu.
I mean, what does it
Although,
do? It does nothing.
I mean, it seems like
It's
a
just a
flash.
figurine. These are the Pop Mart. I don't know if you go on Pop Mart, that website, dude. All those little figurine things, the Sunny Angels, all that things. People are obsessed with
Oh
these little
yeah,
things, which I have a lot of Buddhas in my house, so it's like I can't really. But like, at least
that's a
Buddha's in
little different.
history.
That's
You
a
know what I mean?
little different.
Yeah, it's totally different. But like, and it's better quality. Like some of them are made out of wood and jade and shit. But like,
Right.
and they don't. I don't buy like 17 of them. I don't wear them as a keychain. You know what I mean? Like they're in my house for spiritual purposes. But
Right. That I'm
it's
sorry.
just what the hell? I don't know. Man.
Praying to Buddha is not the same thing as like buying a million Beanie Babies and like losing your goddamn mind. So just gonna put that out there. But that's what that feels like. It feels like everyone was like, it's like that new generation's Beanie Baby, but like
It's
they're
a new trend.
creepy.
Yep. I didn't think they were cute at first. I thought they were scary. So I was like, those
Yeah,
are
they're
scary. Like,
terrifying.
why would they're terrifying?
They're so sketch looking, and I'm like, what are you up to?
They're so
Like if you,
scary.
it,
I was like, is
also
this a joke? Like, did the
right?
dude prank you guys? And the guy
Also
trolled you guys, and you guys fell for it.
right. Also out of like weird, military family type idea wise, I'm like, if you clip this thing to your keychain, are you in a cult? Is there like, are you signaling
Yes.
to other people
And
with the
other
same
Labubu
Labubu?
people come up to you, and then
Yeah,
they have
and then
outfits and
right,
jewelry. Like, what?
and now you're in a gang, and I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, and why do they look like
What
they're
does this gang do?
right?
They just
What are
like
you up
smile at
to?
each other. What are you up
Oh
to, bro?
God,
I'm
it's
glad we can
upsetting.
agree on that. I'm glad we can
Thanks.
agree.
Yeah, yeah, me
That,
too.
that's funny.
Indeed. Well, Lewis, I know you had like 45 minutes in you. Are you up on time or?
Yeah, do you want to give anyone any DJ advice or anti-Labubu
Mm,
advice or anything before we go?
sure. I have both of those things in
just,
my back pocket.
just be an adult, you
Absolutely.
guys. Like,
Yeah,
if you
grow the
don't have a
fuck
house
up.
yet and you're buying Labubus, you are not.
Yeah.
Your priorities are not straight, my guy. Not
What
that
does your
you
car
have to buy a
payment look
house.
like? Yeah, buy Bitcoin first and
What does
foremost.
your car payment look like?
Right.
That's
It's
a good one.
probably less than the amount that you spent on the boo-boos.
It's
That
cute.
was adorable.
Yeah.
DJ advice. Find actual turntables. Go use them.
Ooh.
Figure out how vinyl works. It will change your life. It will improve your entire outlook on everything. Don't tape down the crossfader. Don't buy all your music off Amazon for Jeff Bezos. That's disgusting. Even Beatport kind of grosses me out.
Really?
Does a little. The owners are not fantastic.
Okay.
Listen to very heavy bass and dubstep, and then realize that if you turn it up to double speed, it's drum and bass. That's all I have to say about that.
Yay! Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll link Gordon's stuff if he wants me to, or you guys can just
Yeah,
come to some of our underground parties.
please do.
Thank you so
Find
much
me in
for
the
watching. We love you from Oakland and Hawaii. Thanks for watching Lucy's Paradise Podcast.
Find me in the rave cave. See you soon.
Find him in the rave cave.
Bye.